Hi, my name is Viti. I'm a junior at Westview High School and I live in Portland, Oregon. I'm extremely grateful to Asha International for giving me the opportunity to share my story today. I'd always been a quiet kid. I was not really talkative about my feelings or emotions that often. It was the summer of my seventh grade year when I finally reached my mental tipping point, having bottled up emotions due to feelings of loneliness, the loss of a loved one, and distance from my close friends. I felt like I had no one I could reach out to, and that's when I decided to harm myself. It was that point when I was told that it was ungrateful of me to be feeling the way I felt because I had a roof over my head, food on the table, and had not experienced anything close to the hardships my parents had gone through. That left me even more discouraged and filled with resentment. I isolated myself and I didn't speak to anyone for days on end. It really affected my physical health as well. I was able to recover, thankfully, through self care and lots of healing, but I was still left with the lingering thought of, will my parents ever understand what I go through? Will I ever have a support system or even one person who can empathize with my issues? And it wasn't until recently when I joined a local mental health nonprofit and spoke to an actual therapist that I realized that the problem wasn't about my parents not caring, because they genuinely did care about my well being. It was more that they may have been unable to empathize because of their own education and awareness about mental health. Their own experiences and circumstances growing up were often so different than my generations are today. And it's important that we recognize that and work towards dismantling the gap between our parents and our generation in order to help build support for those who need it. My story is just one example of why we need to lessen that generational gap and get everyone on the same page about mental health. When we are able to come together as a community and help raise awareness for things as important as mental health, it'll only strengthen us. When I was able to sit down and discuss my own mental health, after laying out resources for my parents to read up on mental health, I instantly felt my support system grow. Even as I continue to struggle with anxiety and I often overwork myself, I still feel supported and encouraged by my parents to prioritize my mental health first and talk to them about what I'm feeling. While it does take patience and understanding on both ends, the end result, the support system that has been built around me, is what continues to bring me out of my lowest points today. I've become even more comfortable with speaking to my parents about my mental health without having the fear of being told that what I felt was invalid or having the pressure to be perfect. It took numerous discussions and reading a lot of youth stories like mine online for my parents to realize that we face different problems in our time as they may have faced growing up. And achieving that mutual understanding is so important and only comes with more awareness. The effects of mental health on the overall well being of someone is sizable, which is why it's so important to address it in every household. Through my work with Project Lotus, a local mental health nonprofit, I've been able to expand my understanding of mental health, and that has extended to my parents as well. I urge youth like me to take an initiative to reach out to their parents and engage in daily conversation with them. Having this welcoming environment between parents and their kids will only help strengthen the support system. And knowing that each generation goes through different problems and obstacles and trying to reach the same page without putting blame on anyone will truly help get everyone on a similar wavelength about mental health and its importance in everyday lives. Now is the time while you are confined to your homes, and this is the time to start if you haven't already. Even a 5-minute conversation a day can help in multiple ways. Through these efforts, we can eventually establish a welcoming and supportive community around ourselves, raise awareness about the importance of mental health, and create lasting change that carries on for many generations after. This approach to building a support system around me has only made the coping process easier and significantly benefited my overall mental health. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope you feel empowered to speak about your mental health experiences as well. And you can see more stories of hope and explore a wide variety of wellness resources by visiting www.myasha.org. Again, my name is Viti, and my story is my superpower.